demon for cool art stuff for kids. And this is kind of a shout out to all the students that I ever had, especially younger ones, K through 3. This project is designed for K through 3, but anybody can do it. I'm a 75-year-old man, and I still love doing this project. So I call it the 9-line design. And we're going to do 3 different ones. One's going to just be with line, and one's going to be with circles, and one's going to be done with sort of squares and rectangles. You'll see what I mean as I develop this project right before your eyes. So first of all, we're going to take our maybe a marker, and we're going to do just straight lines. They can be thick and thin. They can be all across the page, but pretty much horizontal and parallel with the bottom of the page or the side of the page. So now I'm going to go and do some lines this way. All straight, and creating perpendiculars, of course, and creating different size shapes. A little bit like Mondrian, if you remember that project. Oops, I kind of goofed up there. There we go, double line. The key here is, if you're doing this with kids, don't let them go too crazy, all right? I'm already way past 9 lines, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I can go a couple more just to break this piece of paper up into shapes. So what do you learn from this? You learn about breaking up a rectangular shape into other smaller shapes. You learn about variety in size, small, medium, large sizes, right? Looks like it needs one more, maybe about right. Boom, maybe about right there. There we go. So now I have a lot of variety in the sizes of my shapes and the lines that I have, and I've used, well, a lot more than 9 lines. So let's do another example before we start on the color. By the way, I've got this really nice thick board that I'm using that I ordered in a pack from a company, but you can use regular drawing paper for this project just as easily. All right, now using some circles. You can get yourself a circle template, but as I practice, I'm just gonna go with a colored pencil. Gonna have some line variety, some thick and thin lines. Not perfect circles, but pretty nicely shaped circles. Overlap that. Bring a big one here. That's already 3 lines, right? 3, 4. Fill that in a little blacker. So I have some variety in the thickness and thinness of my lines. Here we go. Another one off there. Numeral, what is it? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, real big. 7. Wow, there we go. Nice and big. 7. Is it gonna hit that corner? Maybe. There we go. 7, 8, 9. 8, 9. 8, 9. And again, you could do more than 9, but that's 9 lines. I might want to play around with the thickness and thinness. Since I can with a colored pencil, I can exaggerate the thickness and thinness to emphasize another kind of variety, and that's line thickness, varying the thickness of the lines, right? Okay, maybe I'll do that. And then maybe I'll add some more lines inside, boom, like that. Come across here with one more, way more than 9. Going off the page, coming back on the page. There we go. So that's with the circles. And now I'm just going to do one with squares. I kind of did that when I did the line one, didn't I? This next one will be random. By that I mean the lines are going to go every which way, and it's going to break up the paper. Here we go. 1, kind of wiggly wiggly. 2, 3, 4, 5, off the page and back on again. 5, boom, I like it. 6, 7, and you can see by the time I'm getting to the 8th line, I've really divided this guy up into some interesting shapes. And line number 9, maybe right here. Repeat that guy. Okay, so that certainly gives me some small, medium, and large shapes, right? Really kind of like that. I'm actually going to turn this one sideways and find something really nice and round and put maybe a big old moon or sun right here. There you go. And now I have a definite shape in with all my sort of free-flowing abstract lines that create free-flowing shapes, right? Okay, colors coming up next. All right, here we go. We've got our 9 lines, and they intersect and make small, medium, and large shapes. And now we're gonna go with a color scheme called analogous. Those are colors that are situated next to each other on the color wheel. Like in this case, I might use yellow, yellow, green, green, blue, green, blue. So those 5 are next to each other on the color wheel. That's called an analogous color scheme. Okay, so I'm just going to take some of my oil pastels in between my black lines, maybe smudge that guy up there, maybe repeat this again down here. You just got to keep jumping around and adding the colors randomly, but kind of plan it out. So again, what is this project good for? It's helping the artist and student artists to make decisions about shape and color, right? I'm gonna come back with this really dark one up here. That's my decision. Okay. And you can probably blend these in with a paper towel or your finger if you don't care if you're getting messy. That looks pretty darn good. Here we go, little guy right there. Some of my black lines are showing through beautifully. Come across here. So I'm gonna continue to do this in time lapse. So hang in there and enjoy the time lapse portion of this project. Okie doke, just about done with this. Just a couple more rectangles left. Again, feel free to smudge the oil pastels down into whatever color you need. Let's put this guy here in a corner. Come back in with this gold. And just having fun making color selections and seeing what kind of balances out the color with this analogous kind of color scheme. Oh, we just have 2 more spots. Sometimes you can leave white showing. It'll look good, but I might just color the whole thing in just to finish this off. Just a couple more spots. Maybe something super light right here. Maybe repeat that again here. I don't know. Maybe in this corner. Not yellow, not green. Maybe this guy again. One of these how do you say it? Artistro markers. Yeah, that beautiful yellow green is so vibrant. Okay, that about wraps up the 9-line straight line project, which really gives you rectangles and squares, right? Here we are, back with our 9-line design project, and I've got my original free-form design, but I've gone back and made thicker areas and thinner areas, thicker areas, thicker areas, thinner areas. So I have some line variation. So not only is there variation in the size of these shapes, it becomes even more interesting because I have small, medium, and large shapes, but also thick and thin line for more variation in the project. So I've wet this down with some watercolor, and I'm going to just go right back into this, some bright color. This is a sort of hard tag board, so the bright colors are not going to show up as vibrantly as maybe I thought they would. Maybe if I go, oh, there we go. Maybe if I get a little bit more pigment, the blue pigment. Now the last color scheme was an analogous color scheme, 5 colors next to each other on the color wheel. On this one, I'm just gonna free form it and see what happens, but maybe mostly leave it cool colors. I haven't decided yet. Again, it's gonna be up to the individual artist how they want to interpret what these shapes could be color-wise. Ooh, whoa, that's a deep blue. I like it. But guess what? We're gonna touch that up a little bit and go with a little more water here. And that's luckily it might fudge out like that and leave a little texture there, right? There we go. We're continuing with our blues. I'm staying sort of in the blue and blue-green family to add some of these bigger shapes, finish off some of these bigger shapes as we paint. And notice how the contrast of the black lines really makes the color stand out. Maybe this one right here. All right, just about done with this. I've taken the liberty of adding a little bit of yellow and orange, add just a punch of a hot color, since these are all mostly blues and greens and cooler colors. So, lesson learned. Okay, here's our circle design. I'm going to go just a little crazier on this and freeform and add more circles and kind of fill this up with a lot of black circles to divide this page up a little bit more than we originally had planned. Another big one there. There we go. And this becomes an overall, and is that pretty much balanced? Looks a little heavy on this side, so let's throw in another shape over here to detract from all this congestion right here. And again, it's a balancing game, and that's what this whole project, 9-line project, is about. I've certainly exceeded the 9 lines in this one, but we're going to add color to this. On the circular motif of the 9-line designs, I've decided to go mostly hot colors. You can see I used the yellow oil pastel to completely fill in the background to give it sort of a base color. And now I'm going to go back in with a variety of oranges and yellows and blend some reds in there and maybe some pinks and give this a hot kind of a feel against the black lines that we've already established on the picture. The advantage of this is you can jump around and balance out where you put one particular color, like the oranges are going to be all over the page, but in places that I chose to put them. So I'm making all the choices, and that's what this project is all about. From the 9-line design and the placement of where the lines are and how thick they are to placement of color. And just about done with this guy. The circular one, utilizing the 9-line design principle, although I went way beyond 9 lines. Go back in here and add a little crisper black to some of these areas. You'll notice in this one I decided to leave a lot of the white show through to break up the whole design. Again, a personal decision, and that's what this project's all about. Having fun, using a variety of lines and shapes, and putting it all together to have a pleasing finished product. You notice I even did some stripe action here to break it up so not all of the bubbles had solid colors, right? So I'm gonna go maybe one more right here, have to be careful because the pink is picking up the black lines that are there, but that's okay. I can live with that. And I can go around it with the stronger pink to make it show up better. And we're about done with that. So we've got the circular design one, and we've got the watercolor one. So teachers, if you're doing this with a class, you can see how you can vary this and use the materials you have in your art room to help the kids create some really original art abstract pieces. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, Damon out.